Though it's difficult to feel sorry for Gator, there's simply no reason to appreciate Roy Tillman's failures. Given that he is Roy's child, there was little chance that he would grow up to be a violent, nasty person, and we have witnessed some pretty terrible things from him. But we've also seen him as a fearful child in puppet-assisted flashbacks, and we've realized that everything he does is a fruitless attempt to win his father over. His room, which is decorated with pin-up girls and metal band posters, as well as the dejected manner he calls out for Roy after Roy turns away from him, all point to someone who has never truly grown up. Although Joe Keery portrays him as a jerk, he is actually a man of genuine vulnerability who may have had a different life if he had been raised properly. Or perhaps not. Perhaps he was always this bad. Throughout the course of the episode, Gator's downfall is revealed, first as Ol's shack-bound prisoner, then as he is blinded and must march across the icy plain, and last, when he returns to Roy as a useless hand. It's obvious that Ol believes Gator was carrying out Roy's orders. If he had known the truth, would his warped sense of honor have caused him to behave differently? Gator's ultimate destiny will be revealed in the season finale, much like the majority of the plots this season, although it appears to reach a devastating culmination in this episode. Dot, a little distance from Gator, is likewise confined and longs to get out of a shack. Dot, however, is luckier. She escapes Roy's vigilant observation and breaks free from her restraints with a combination of cunning and willpower. Dot may have managed to get away, but she is still not free. In The Useless Hand, the penultimate episode of what seems to be Fargo's fifth and greatest season, or at least the most consistently satisfying, she finds herself trapped on the Tillman Ranch and becomes the center of attention for everyone else. Lorraine is one of many on the prowl from her job, but her distance doesn't mean she's worthless. She may call upon powerful people, such as the Orange Idiot, for assistance while she is perched high above the Twin Cities. She exclaims, "It's time I got something for my money." In addition, Lorraine has a formidable, recently hired lieutenant named Indira who is dressed sharply. Indira appears to have accepted Lorraine's employment offer and is tackling the task with her usual skill. Though Indira also has contacts, Lorraine's connections can call upon all the force of the law to be sent to Tillman Ranch. Whit takes immediate action after she lets him know what's going on. However, Roy also has connections. A standoff is about to occur, and among them are the so-called patriots who watch America's Sheriff online and respond to a call to arms by bringing their big fucking hammers, bullets, and beans. It's a standoff too. How does Roy intend to finish? Furthermore, at a deeper level, what is his true desire? Stated differently as Auden does, is he Hitler at the start of his career or the end of it? Is this a desperate last stand or the start of a revolution? It has been unclear throughout the season if Roy genuinely believes in his right-wing extremism, or if he is just using it as an easy method to maintain his position of authority. A season that, it should be mentioned, never stops trying to be relevant. I think this is the final answer. There's a third scenario that doesn't rule out the others. Roy's actions might be motivated by a drive to locate, recover, abuse, and potentially even murder Dot. Karen appears to agree. When Karen discovers Dot in the bedroom Roy and Karen share, she learns that he has Dot's picture up on the wall. Even after all these years, I've never changed the betting. When Karen threatens to kill her, Dot knocks her out and helps her escape, but not before setting on the gas stove in an ultimately futile attempt to booby-trap the place. Dot is making some progress in her attempts to win Karen over. At last, Dot gets a phone, which she uses to call Indira without realizing that Indira is now with Lorraine. Lorraine shares a few intimate moments with us over the phone. She doesn't appear to completely lose her steely resolve, but she does appear upset, possibly even saddened, by the news of Danish's death. Dot also wants to know Lorraine's motivation for assisting her. It appears that her mother-in-law has grown attached to Dot, thus she is unable to respond honestly. Who could have predicted that? Nevertheless, the progression makes sense. Lorraine had been showing signs of weakness, one practically from the beginning. Her frailty and gassed, human feelings are harder to conceal as the crisis has grown. The FBI, a TF SWAT team, and Whit arrive, while the cavalry looks for a safe haven for Dot. Whit establishes himself as a vital component of the rescue mission. It will also need to be a rescue operation. Roy makes it obvious he won't back down when he rides up to the gate. With a battalion of gunslingers in his rear, he wants them to go. However, they are staying put. Roy is also not moving. He informs them, "This is the path I'm on," and then launches into an eloquent and menacing diatribe. This will not go well in the end. and that just refers to the outside danger. Roy hasn't even given thought to the potential threat that might already be there on his land. Ole, with Gator on a leash and a theatrical monologue about worthless hands, also rolls in with the fog. Ole uses force to deliver Gator, which lets Ole get away and probably makes Roy feel even more disgusted with his kid. One threat becomes two as the episode comes to a close. Ole pulls Roy's men out of the hole they use as a burial as soon as he finds Dot hanging out there. He then rescues her, giving a nod of respect to a tiger, who is now up on her feet and armed as well. It turns out that my concern of Fargo peaked with all the mid-season enthusiasm was unfounded. Without undervaluing the individuals, this episode begins to tie together all the storylines. This season has seen a lot of bloodshed, and probably will for some time to come, but it has also seen a lot of bullfights. The next episode will be the end of all of that, and as of right now, there is no clear way to wrap things up. It is important to think about the morality of Indira's decision. Has she turned her back on humanity? And if so, was there anything she could do? If nothing else, Lorraine provided a path out of a hole Indira had not dug for herself. In any case, how dark is this dark side? Let's also take Karen into consideration, even though it's uncertain if she will play any more roles this season. She has always hated Roy, no doubt about it, but their marriage has the feel of a royal union driven by local politics. When combined, they formally established the alliance between the houses of Odin and Roy. She also appears to be a devoted follower of her dad's divisive rubbish. You do realize what a witch hunt is. Men are killing women to keep them in line, not witches pursuing men. Once more, this is a season of the present, or at the very least, of the recent past and possibly the future. A somber detail, Dot uses a bone, possibly Linda's, as a weapon in the pit. Bravo to cinematographer Daryl Hartwell and director Thomas Bezucha, who directed the excellent film Let Him Go, which sort of got lost during the pandemic, for fantastic visual work this week, particularly those last hazy sequences.